Alright, every level of sports car explained, hopefully in a short time. Starting off with level 1. These sports cars are like the beginner level sports cars, they aren't really crazy and they're not really that fast either. This level kind of includes stuff like the Miata 86 and BRG twins, S2000, and stuff like the 350Z and the 370Z. These cars are great as they're pretty affordable for a sports car, except the S2000, I don't know what happened to those. Have great handling, have a lot of aftermarket support in case you want to modify them. Moving on to level 2. Now this is where things get a little bit spicier because this level is going to include cars like the Cayman M2 and Alpine A110 if you live literally anywhere but in America. Not only do these cars get way faster because they're more powerful, but the handling gets definitely a lot better too. The price also does increase a bit because the Caymans kind of start around 75 grand and the M2 starts around 70 grand. And I also forgot to mention, these things are pretty comfy enough to daily drive every once in a while. Alright, now we're moving on to level 3. Probably the most controversial part of this list. Look, I don't think a muscle car is a sports car, but honestly, I guess it kind of is because it's got two doors and they're pretty fast. Speaking of fast, these things are pretty damn good in a straight line. In fact, they're known for giving crazy speed for a budget. Cars in this category include like Dodge Challenger, the Mustang, and the Camaro. I guess not the Mustang Camaro because they're technically pony cars, but I don't know, someone explain that to me in the comments. These cars are crazy powerful with big V8s, as the Hellcat is pushing around 700 horsepower from factory with a supercharged V8, with the Camaro ZL1 making around 650 horsepower with the supercharged V8, and the GT500 making around 700 horsepower with the, you guessed it, a supercharged V8. Okay, next level, moving on to the level 4, which consists of GT cars. These cars are usually front engine with a super powerful V8 or V12 wrapped with a nice luxurious interior that'll help you when you're taking a road trip from Italy to the south of France. A chunk of these cars are made by Bentley like the Continental and Aston Martins like the Vantage, DB12, and Vanquish. Honestly, I think I could give Aston Martin their own level considering the fact that for the most part, all they do is make GT cars. But Ferrari does hop in every once in a while, like with the current Ferrari Amalfi, which literally just looks like the Roma. They did make the GTC for Alusso and the California a while back though, that's a good one. Mercedes also has the GT63 and BMW has the M8 competition. This is where stuff gets really pricey as you're probably paying more than 100k and maybe up to 600k on these cars. But hey, if you got the money, knock yourself out. Unless you want to wait for the next level. Right, moving on to level 5. This is where stuff gets really wild. Supercars are the type of cars people one day dream of owning, and maybe you've probably had a poster of one in your bedroom wall. You've definitely heard of some of the cars in this category from Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, and Porsches. These cars are not only fun as hell to drive, but they also cost stupid amounts of money. There's so many cars I could include in this category, but some great ones are like the Huracan, Nano GT3, F8 Tributo, and the 720S. Sometimes, brands that don't usually make supercars even come up with the really crazy stuff like the Ford GT, the Acura NSX, the Lexus LFA, and the Nissan GTR. But now, we move on to level 6, aka the big league. Or maybe the league above the big league, I don't know. Hypercars are a step above supercars, almost making them look like the slowest snails in comparison. This is where the heavy hitters like Bugattis, Koenigseggs, Paganis, Rimacs, and Zenwas exist. Occasionally, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Porsches and McLarens will pop up in this space. And if you thought those cars were in the last level were expensive, oh boy, you haven't seen anything yet. Like, these cars are north of $1 million, and some of them, money isn't even enough. Like Ferrari, you need to have a good relationship with your dealer to get one, and it's super crazy. There's a whole another process behind it. I'd probably have to make another video for it. And alright, one last level. This is where stuff gets crazier, and for a good reason. This is level 7, where the cars in this level aren't even road legal. They are track only cars, but not to be confused with motorsport cars. If you are rich enough, you can buy one, assuming if you have 3 to 10 million lying around, and you can ask the car maker, depending on how chill they are, to keep it with you, or ask them to keep it with them until one day you decide to take it out for a track day. Great examples of these cars include the Aston Martin Vulcan, the Ferrari FXXK Evo, the McLaren P1 GTR, the Pagani Huayra R, Porsche 935, and the Lamborghini Sesta Elemento. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe. If you disagree, just let me know in the comments.